What's up guys? Thanks for checking out the video today. So I'm going to do a little unboxing here. I've got some parts in for this Challenger Scat Pack right here. This is the one that's got a Bischoff racing engines in it. It's got a Whipple, and it had a valve train issue where it pulled the threads out of the heads. Two of the threads that hold the rocker shafts on. If you haven't seen that video, I've already released it as far as pulling it apart. We've got the heads at Bischoff Racing Engines now getting CNC port work done. So once they get done with them, I get the heads back, we'll be throwing this thing together and having another video about it, or we'll be doing another video on it. But for now, I wanted to show you the parts that we got in for this thing. So these parts are, they're pretty nice. Let me show you the company. It's called Stank Motorsports. They're out of Minnesota, and that's their sticker right there. So they make a lot of parts for the old school Hemis. You know, I'm talking the old stuff, right? And they started making some parts for the new Gen 3s. And so these, let me unwrap them here. These are the rocker arm shafts. They are really nice. These are chrome moly steel compared to the stock ones. Let me show you here. These are the stock ones. And the reason why we had to replace them was the one was bent real bad. The exhaust rocker shaft on the driver's side, it pulled the threads, two of the threads that hold the stabilizers on. Well, like I say, check out the other video. I'll put a link in the description below. I don't want to go into too much detail on that deal now. But we did get a whole new set of stabilizers for the rockers. I could have used the old ones, but not knowing the history of this engine, found out that they had some issues with this valve train in this car. The old owner did. Bent push rods, all kinds of stuff. And I think that's the reason why we got the problem we got now with the pulled threads on the heads. So I didn't want to take a chance on using the old ones, so went ahead and got a brand new set. These are from the same company. Those are called stabilizers. They basically bolt over right here and here. Basically, you got an intake, and then you'll have an exhaust shaft, and they just kind of strengthen them up, tie them together, and then these collars slide on, and you can keep the rocker arms in good position. Now, typically from the factory, they don't have collars on these at all. And the way that the push rods come up out of the head, they're at such an angle that it keeps these rocker arms pushed against the factory collars, right? That holds these in. See if I can kind of get this in position. So if you had these bolted down here, normally there's just a factory collar right here. It's not a big long one that ties the intake and exhaust together. It's just one little collar. And the way that they're designed is the push rod pushes this against the collar like this, and there's nothing here, so it could also float that way, but supposedly it won't move that way. It only pushes this way by the angle of the push rod. But this company came up with this collar design to help keep these where they need to be. At high RPM applications, they found that they were bending push rods because it was moving that way too much, and it would go that way and back this way, and it was doing it so much it was bending push rods and causing all kinds of issues. So with these collars, once you have this stabilizer in place, you want to adjust this collar to where there's only 15 thousandths movement on the rocker arm. Only 15 thousandths, just enough to get oil between the collar and the rocker arm and the stabilizer and the rocker arm on this side. So when I took this apart, I noticed there was a lot of play. So they didn't have these adjusted tight enough, all of them. So we're gonna take care of that situation. But anyway, that's kind of the deal. So yeah, these are nice. This is the first time I've actually seen them. The stock ones are just made out of, you know, regular steel, and the one is just bent bad. I mean, it's unbelievable. And then the intake one, the intake didn't pull the threads, but it's also bent. Not as bad as the exhaust, but it's bent. So that kind of tells me that whoever worked on this, they put it back together with bent shafts. And that could be one of the reasons why it pulled the threads out of the head. So we chose to go ahead and get these chrome moly pieces. And once we get the heads back, we're going to put them on. And we're going to check for push rod length. Make sure these push rods are the correct length. Now they are different. They do have an exhaust and an intake shaft. So there's 4 of them that came in the kit. And then the push rods that they end up putting on it are these chrome moly push rods. Now, you can see the exhaust side is longer and the intake is shorter. But I'm going to have to check and make sure that the size of these, the length, are correct. Because if these things are too long, I know they're not too short because there was no play at all or any looseness with the rocker arms. But I got to make sure they're not too long. If they're too long, that could also be a reason why they were having issues with this. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to show you that and kind of give you a little bit, a little update on the car. So this one's basically, this will be a little short video of this car. I'm gonna just kind of do a little walk around just to show you the car. Because you guys probably remember seeing this on the video that I uploaded on this one already. When I took the heads off, it's still sitting in the shop. It's going to be, you know, a while before I get the heads back, but I didn't really want to push this one out. You know, I had to remove the rack and pinion to get the headers off. I mean, I could have got the headers off without removing it, but there was some header bolts that were just going to be damn near impossible to get to without removing the rack and pinion. So I would have to put that back in, and then I would have to really cover up the engine really good, or tape this, you know, cover this up, because I really didn't want this thing sitting outside, even with, you know, this engine being covered with wind blowing and stuff. Might get sand in there. I didn't want none of that, so I figured I would just leave the car in here and work off of the other lift for a while. But you know, if I get to a point where I need this lift, then I'll just have to put the rack and pinion on it and push it out. You know, that's all I can do. But for now, I'm gonna just leave it as is. But yeah, this car is really nice. You know, it's full leather, manual car. Got the nice big screen in the middle. I mean, it's super nice. This thing's got altimeter boost gauge. It has an altimeter wideband gauge. So this wideband gauge actually isn't working right at all. It doesn't show the correct air fuel ratio, and I actually checked it with my handheld. I have a handheld that is used for tuning. It has 2 sensors, so I can actually see both banks. And back when we put a clutch in this car, when the new owner bought it, needed a clutch. Once we put the clutch in, I basically hooked up my handheld wideband and took it for a ride to see if the wideband or the AFRs were correct. And yeah, his gauge is not showing right at all. And there's no calibration. These are self-calibrating. I thought I'd just show you guys the interior of this car. This car is it's really nice, man. I mean, this thing is super clean. The back seat's the same. You're not going to be able to see anything back there. Kind of dark. I've got the battery unhooked, so can't put any light in there. But yeah, so anyway, the wideband doesn't read correctly at all. So I've got a brand new one. It actually came in that box right there. I got to open that box up. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. That box actually has some parts for another car that I'm working on, which is right there. And there's going to be a video coming out on this car on our other channel, the Savage Productions channel. I've already got some footage of this one, and I don't want to go into a lot of detail on it, on what we did, so you can check that video out when it comes out on that channel. But yeah, this one is a nice one, man. It's 86 Mustang GT with a 408 stroker. But yeah, it's nice. Anyway, let me get this box opened up. Let's see what we got in here. I'm going to get that gauge out. There it is. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, that's nice. I was trying to shoot for the same one. The gauge that's in the car now, it's been in this car for a few years. I mean, it's definitely a lot older of a gauge, but it looks to be the same. I was looking at it. I wanted to get the exact same one so it would actually match the boost gauge. And it looked a little bit different in the picture, but I think it's going to be the same. Yeah, that's nice there. So that's going to be going in this car. I won't go ahead and cut it off here. Just want to give you guys an update on some parts for this beast of a car right here. So definitely be sure to check out the video of this car when I had already taken it apart. I'll leave a link in its description below on that, like I said earlier. So all right, I do appreciate you guys checking this out. Be on the lookout for the video on this car on our Savage Productions YouTube channel. So we will catch you on the next video. Hey, give me a thumbs up, like the video, share it. We'll trying to get some more subscribers on this channel, since it's a new channel. So I do appreciate it. You guys have a good day, and I'll catch you on the next video.